Alright guys, this is going to be the final review of the PTE Turbo on a stock block and stock fuel system. Is it worth it or is it not worth it? So I'm here to give you guys all the details, results, dyno numbers, how the car feels when driving, etc. From my last video, as you can see, I got a carbon fiber hood. The car's a little dirty right now. And I lowered the car on some iBox springs, give it a little bit more of an aggressive look. So it looks pretty good. So yeah, the PTE Turbo, compared to stock, it's been a while since I drive in a stock turbo, but I drove one the other day and I can tell you it is missing so much top end compared to the PTE. When you gun it, the stock turbo just seems to fall off towards the end. With the PTE Turbo, it just pulls like a monster non-stop all the way through to redline. I got a dyno the other day and it did about 430 wheel horsepower. That's right, 430 wheel horsepower and 467 foot-pounds of torque. The 430 wheel horsepower was all the way up to like about 6,800-ish RPM. Well, one of my friends also, they got a dyno on the stock turbo. They dropped off by then. Comparing the two numbers, I had about 60 horsepower over them towards redline, over what they had. So yeah, PTE definitely makes more top end. As for low end, the PTE does have a little bit of a lag. Not a whole lot, but it's enough to where it makes a difference. But if you do know how to brake boost, I highly recommend you brake boosting because that will help you tremendously. I typically brake boost on the PTE Turbo. That helps it spool, so when you let go of the brake, you take off instantly, according to the stock turbo as well. So with that being said, do I recommend this PTE Turbo? I don't recommend it if you're just planning on staying stock. So yeah, there you have it. Here's the car. As far as the PTE, oh, there's no way you can see that back there. Yeah, there's not going to be any way. There's not a lot of light right here because it's pretty sunny. But trust me, you cannot see it. This car looks pretty much stock. I have the aux fuel rail, but the aux fuel rail is because we're installing it right now. It's not hooked up. Fuel-wise, it is hooked up. It's charged right now. There's fuel in there, but electronically, the injectors are not even connected. You can see back here, the injectors, they're not even hooked up yet. They're all just opened. So, hopefully we'll get that in today. We can run some aux fuel. Currently running the PTE Turbo, tuned by Alex at Stratified. Stock block, stock fuel system. We have it tuned on E20. We also had it tuned on 91. So far, my thoughts about the PTE Turbo. This turbo is meant for those who want to build a car and they're limited to the stock turbo. PTE Turbo versus stock turbo. I don't recommend the PTE Turbo if you plan on staying stock block, stock fuel. The reason for that is because yes, it does give you a bit more power top end and it gives you more torque top end, but overall down low you're not really gaining much from it. You're actually losing a lot. So whenever you, like for example, I raced against my friend Ben in a stock turbo full bolt-on E40 RS. From second gear he'll take off from me because he does 497 foot-pounds of torque, whereas for me I only do about 463, which is still fairly good amount. But either way, it's still, his torque hits a lot harder than mine. So whenever we shift, he jumps right off the shift because his torque hits right away. As for mine just falls down and then it takes for a second to go up and then the torque hits. But whenever I race Ben on third gear, I'll pull on him. Like I said, the PT's good top end, low end it's not so great, which to me is not worth losing because that overall will just affect the way the car performs. It'll feel kind of like it's sluggish, kind of slow, but top end it just pulls hard. So it depends the way what you're looking for in the turbo. Me personally, in the turbo, I'm actually right now, we just installed the port injection fuel from Stratified. We're also right now building the block with a Slinger Stage 2 cams. With that being said, this turbo is definitely perfect for that setup. Stock turbo, it wouldn't be perfect because we would max out the stock turbo right away. The car made 430 horsepower and 463, I think it is, foot-pounds of torque. Which, dude, that is a lot of horsepower and a lot of torque for the stock block. But so far, it's holding pretty good. Comparing that to a stock turbo, like, for example, my friend Ben, he did about 403 horsepower to the wheels and about 497 torque. And he is tuned by Randy. So his car is pretty fast, believe it or not. But I just have that top end part. He has a lot of low end and mid torque and horsepower. So lower gearing, he'll take me. Higher gearing, I'll take him. That's just the benefits of this turbo and his turbo. If you're spending about $2,500 plus tuning, or if you're gonna get an aftermarket wastegate on this turbo, that is a big chunk of change for such little gains. So don't take it as, oh, okay, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and get this turbo and I'm gonna be the fastest and beat every stock turbo RS. Actually, that is not true. You probably won't beat every stock turbo RS if you're going off from lower gearing. If you go upper gearing, you might beat them. Most likely you will if you know how to drive the car. I do recommend the PTE Turbo if you plan on going bigger than that. As far as like cams, block, fuel, I would recommend it. But if you're going just straight turbo, I don't recommend it. Would I personally buy it just for stock turbo, stock fuel? To be honest, I might buy it again and just keep it how it is. Dude, because it just sounds so fucking badass. But if you're a performance guy and you don't care about the sound, you know, then vice versa. I'm telling you not to buy it for performance reasons, because you won't really gain that many. You'll be almost as much as stock turbo, and you're about $2,500 deep into it. But the sound of it just sounds so freaking amazing. That's what's the selling point for me. Is, dude, the turbo just sounds like an actual turbo car. PSI wise, I'm hitting about 27.5 PSI. How does it feel launching the car? Does it feel sluggish? I actually have the twin disc ceramic clutch. It is a little difficult to drive at times, but once you get it broken in, it's fairly easy to drive it. So as far as turbo noises go, let me see if I can get you a couple of turbo sounds. Not sure if you can hear that flutter, but the turbo does like to flutter a lot when you go into a slight little bit of boost, and then as soon as you're stepping on it, you can hear it just sucking in a bunch of air. I'll see if I can do a pull for you guys. Oh, it's ready to go, dude. It's ready to go. I'm telling you, I did a little bit of boost, brake boost, third gear, build about 10 pounds of boost, and then just let go of the brake, hammer the throttle, and the car just shoots like a slingshot. I'll post a couple videos of me racing Ben. I brake boosted on a couple of them. On some I didn't. I don't think I recorded the ones that I did not brake boost. But even when I didn't brake boost on third gear, I was still able to pull away from him. But brake boosting in third gear is a killer gear.